All right, welcome back to One Job. As in, you had a one job and you couldn't even get that right. It's kind of like crappy design, except more for obvious mistakes rather than things that weren't thought all the way through. Also, before I forget, and I tell myself you had one job, one more day on the Spookles Only merch, represent.com/Captain Sparkles if you want to get it before it's gone forever, link in the description. Anyway, let's begin with right around number 19, which I might mess up, and I had one job. That's the peanut-free table, huh? Peanut-free table. What they're trying to say is they're not very sympathetic towards peanut allergies? Are they trying to be mean, or was it just... Yeah, they're moving the table. They're cleaning the table off. There was a peanut mishap. Some peanuts got on the table. They're cleaning it. In the meantime, you're free to eat over the trash can because apparently there are no peanut-free zones in this area. That's actually a good idea, though. I've never seen that before, but that would have been a good call to have in school. I feel like there wasn't really much precaution taken into account during lunchtime. There were a couple kids I know of who had like really bad peanut allergies. So, oh well. Me IRL. Step in front of a bus, no matter what. Oh God, that's at Disney too. I would be very surprised if this isn't fixed by now, because Disney does not mess around when it comes to this sort of thing. You could bet that the instant someone hears about this being a thing, oh God, imagine if it's in like every single one of the transport buses, just because they're all mass produced and made the same. They have the same decal that's applied, but it's concealed. Disney would not be pleased with that. I guarantee you this has been addressed. You do not see any trash on the ground anywhere at Disneyland. Compare that to any other public space, not a public space, but any other space with that many people. It's a tight ship that they run. Just relax. Soon, it's high enough to not get any higher. I mean, according to the top comment, it says, I wonder if it's deliberate in order to prioritize drainage from other areas or act as an overflow. But even then, why would you want water to ever build up? Like, I can see with your sink how you have those upper drainage things, but that's there in case there is an overflow problem. But you also want to have the ability to fill up your sink for some reason if need be. I don't think there's ever a reason to fill up your road. Like, oh, just occasionally, we like to let the road fill up with water. It cleans it. We don't want to get too high. We don't want the road to have too much water in it. We'll just leave the drainage up here so that no one gets mad that the road isn't clean enough. It's less a sale and more the idea of a sale. Now, it was $69.99, but now $69. They should have done $69.69. And then it technically would have been a sale, even if only for 30 cents, but it still would have been a sale. It's still, even if it went to $69.98, that's still a sale. You're saving enough money to get a single gumball from a gumball machine, except probably not that anymore. It was 25 cents to get a gumball from a gumball machine when I was younger. What is it? Is it still 25 cents? Are we holding steady? Because what can they do? No one wants to insert multiple quarters into the thing. Is that inflation proof? Because the mechanism is just one quarter, you turn it and that's it. It can't go higher than a quarter because no one carries half dollars or dollar coins. They'll figure out a way. It'll be credit card powered gumball machines soon. Stepdad said he's really good at trim work. Oh, yeah, that looks real dangerous for your toes. Ooh, imagine walking too close to the edge of that and just the top of your foot hitting the nail. Like, how do you leave the nail poking out? I can imagine some construction worker for some public project or something being like, it's good enough. But you, in your own home? Do you want to be in pain inside your own home? Maybe they only wear shoes in their house. This is going to untie your shoelaces, though. Just picked up my pizza order. Maybe what they want to do is kind of like, it's a psychological experiment. What order are the people going to eat the pizza in? Do they go for the extendo slice first and then the rest around it? Or do they do the more evenly sized slices and then go for the extendo slice after the fact? Honestly, I would probably go extendo slice first because I feel like that has more surface area per volume and therefore it's going to cool off more quickly. It'll cool off a little bit more quickly so I don't burn my mouth on the first slice that I eat. But also then the rest of the pieces are they're holding their heat a little bit more versus potentially burning my mouth. This keeps it more even, which is great. The moment you realize your toilet paper roll looks different. On the plus side here, you're actually getting more for your money. On the downside, I guess you kind of just have to figure out another situation to unroll it, what you can do is you lift up the lid, and most toilet lids go up above the surface of the top of the tank. So you open up the lid, right? It goes here. You put the toilet paper here, and then you can unroll it, but the lid will be keeping the toilet paper in place because you're like pulling it forward into the lid here, right? This is the side view, so this is your toilet paper. This is your lid up. This is the surface of the tank, right? And then you're pulling the toilet paper. The lid's keeping it in place, and it kind of works that way. The only problem is if you're a sitter, it's tough to like do that. You kind of have to be a stander in order for that to work. But I'm just giving you life pro tips in case you needed them, in case the situation ever presents itself to you. Walmart at its finest. Magic the Gathering, featuring baseball cards. This is probably just laziness. They're like, well, looks like all the other shelves are full. This one seems pretty empty. Maybe it's because it's in high demand, everyone's bought them. All right, I'll just throw these here. Nobody will notice. Musical parking. 5 minuet of parking. What is a minuet? I know it's like a musical or dancing related term, but I actually don't know exactly what it is. But I just know that it has to do with something musical, that's all. So I can't even really comment on this other than they spelled minute wrong. How do you do that though? How do you spell a word wrong when it comes to stencil and paint? Yeah, okay, you're writing something in pen, you get a little bit ahead of yourself with writing, and you accidentally write a letter out of turn. All right, with this, you have to lay out the damn stencils. Okay, you're looking at the word. It takes a minute to spray paint the thing. Even if you started on the E and then you're like, whoops, wrong stencil. Like you can switch over to the T before you're fully into it. And if you started at the top, which I think most people would start at the top, not the bottom, that's even like the same as the T. It's just a line. You could have just swapped it out if you, oh my God, I don't understand. How do you mess that up? Don't open that window and it will be okay. 2018, Baraka. For a second, I thought that it was like, maybe this was an old campaign bus for Barack Obama, and they really spelled it wrong there. But then I was like, 2018. No, that's probably not the case. Also, that's not Barack Obama. In fairness, there are a lot of other windows that you can put down. Doesn't have to be that one. I wonder if they just did that for the sake of the photo. It's like, this will look funny if we roll this one down. You can get to any other. It'll be like the Instagram filter, but in real life. Found this picture going through an old phone. I feel like there's more to this story. That there could have been like some Photoshop involved or something like that. This doesn't have enough pixels for me to believe anything, or maybe it's so few pixels that I have to believe it, because it's like, why if someone were gonna Photoshop something, would they do it with a starting image of 2 pixels? If it is real, how do you put the decals on the box out of order? How do you do that? They're like, I've got these 3 decals here. I gotta peel them off. I gotta put them on the thing. Make sure they're not super bubbly. All right, cool. Well, we got I, we got C, we got P. Internet Explorer Company. That's what we're doing here. People are gonna go into this machine, and it's gonna give them a flash drive which they use to install Internet Explorer. I am confused. Turn left. I like how the second comment is, the photo is mirrored. If you flip it back, it'll be right. That would be very confusing. I wonder if this has caused any accidents. Someone in this is like, wait, am I not allowed to go right here? Is the arrow wrong? Is the text wrong? I'm confused right now. Also, I think this is somewhere, this looks like the UK probably, given that the line is here. I assume we're going this way. Yep, that's confusing. You don't matter. Give up. You don't matter. Give up. Hopefully no one reads this straight across from left to right like I did. I can kind of see it because there's a good chance you're going to focus on the individual sign rather than moving across, especially because they're at different angles. If they were lined up properly angle-wise, then you might accidentally read it improperly. So it's better that they're not lined up because it makes you think, okay, I'll read it. You matter. Don't give up. This person didn't really have one job though. They were volunteering, I assume. Well, I guess I don't have to celebrate my birthday this year. August 39th. Happy belated birthday. You know, we're just a little under a month away from it. So what are the odds of you running into like a paper calendar? Or what's this on? I don't know if this is on a monitor. Like, no one uses paper calendars anymore. What are the odds of you running into one where the one day of the year is like, that's actually impressive. You have to think, okay, what are the odds that there is a mistake in a date print on a calendar. And then it'd be 1 in 365 of that. So that's like a 1 in million chance, probably 1 in many millions. You got really unlucky there. Bridge is finished, boss. I have to imagine there is a reason behind this, because that seems like a little too big of a mistake. You know, we were talking about how do you misspell a stencil? This is, I mean, I guess the plans could have changed as time went by. Like, they built the support in the first place, and then it was like, oh shoot, things are gonna have to be shifted slightly. But they didn't just wing it. They didn't just go, all right, hopefully this stands up when thousands of cars are driving above it. Hopefully it doesn't fall over, but I don't know, we don't know. The center of gravity here is still pretty much over the support going straight down to the ground versus being off to the side. I'm telling myself that they did the math because I don't want to think it to be any other way. Easy to answer. Question 38, 1 point. What is a microphone? It should have been, is microphone? And then, you know, it would have made sense. Could be answered true or false. Is microphone? Is microphone? True, I think. Just depends on where you are when you're answering the question. If you're where I am, very true. If you're elsewhere, well, your computer's still probably got a microphone built into it. So it's also it's always true, actually. Always. It's a hell of a question to ponder if it's true or false. First post on Reddit ever. Found this one outside of Walmart. It looks like some creature just fell out of the blue. It was like, I'm out. I'm tired of being stuck in this sea of the same blues. I feel no individuality whatsoever. I'm leaving. I'm dipping out of this place. I have a funny story about a messed up little bit of paint though. I was filming this thing at Mattel once. It was a Minecraft little minifigure thing. It was several years back. And we were gonna film like an intro sequence for it. And we're in front of the building. And there's a camera person, PR person. There's a line of paint separating like some bricks from a painted bit. And there is the most microscopic little, like some of the paint from the painted section just like touched, just barely by like a 1/4 of an inch in one little spot touched the bricks. Nothing that anyone ever would have noticed. The PR person's like, oh, hold up. You can't film this here. Reflects poorly on the company. You see that paint, it's like slightly on the bricks. It's misaligned. It's not gonna work, guys. It's not gonna work. Apparently Mattel holds their image in much higher regard than they do here at this Walmart, because that would never fly. Seriously? Do not bend. Presidential photo enclosed. No political discussion here. Okay, no politics. This could be an envelope of anything. There could be anything in the envelope that it might not be. They just think it could be something. It could just be photos from your mom. And your mom was trying to send you some photos because your mom doesn't operate, email, digital cameras, anything like that. And it's nice. Sometimes you want some analog stuff. All right, your mom's sending you some photos and explicitly stated on the envelope, please do not bend. These are photos. And then it arrives bent. And then you're like, that's lame. You literally had one job. Petition to make this the subreddit logo. I feel like there's some kind of meta inside joke going on here, and I'm missing it. Or maybe it's just that it's not a very nicely designed logo and it's all aliased and misaligned. Yeah, it seems that mildly infuriating seems like a better spot for it, unless this is a reference to something. No, I see what you did. It's not centered. It's not centered. It's aliased. At least the circle isn't aliased. So you missed out on another opportunity there. You could have made it an aliased oval or something like that. You missed an opportunity. Well, anyway, that's it for the last month of One Job. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Well, hopefully I did my job of going over one job. Let me see. I have one job of trying to remember what I say during the outro. Make sure to like if you liked. Represent.com/CavinSparkles for Spookles Only merch. Subscribe if you're not already. Music in the outro that's playing right now in the background. And that's it. I think I've covered everything. Okay. Farewell.